You know that feeling? It's 2 in the morning, you're staring at the ceiling, and your mind is just racing. It's not about what happened today or what's happening tomorrow, it's about money. Your brain has turned into this calculator that you just can't switch off. And underneath all of it, there's this heavy, nagging feeling that enough money, well, it just feels impossibly far away. And that's really what it is, isn't it? It's this low-frequency hum of financial stress that's just always on in the background. A deep down feeling that you're just not okay, and you won't be until you hit some huge, almost mythical number. $500,000, $1 million. It just feels like this endless cycle of worry. But what if I told you that the number that actually silences that hum, the number that buys you genuine, life-changing peace of mind, is dramatically, maybe even shockingly closer than you believe? What if the solution to all that anxiety is way more achievable than we've been led to think? So let's talk about it. What is that number? The real peace number. See, this isn't about getting rich, it's about getting calm and realizing that, well, that changes everything. The myth we're all fed is that you need this massive war chest to feel secure. That peace of mind costs $500,000, maybe $1 million, or even more. And when we see those numbers, it's so easy to just feel defeated before we even get started. But here's the reality, and this is backed up by all sorts of research in psychology and economics. The net worth that actually buys you true financial peace of mind, for most people, is about $75,000. That's it. That is the number that turns off that 2 a.m. worry machine. So why? Why is that number so much lower than we'd expect? Well, it's pretty fascinating, actually. It all comes down to how our brains are literally wired to think about money and safety. It's not a straight line at all. This right here, this is the core misunderstanding that messes us all up. We assume that peace of mind grows in a straight line. Double the money, double the peace. But in reality, it's logarithmic. The very first dollars you manage to save have a massive, outsized impact on your well-being. And after that, the benefit of each new dollar starts to get smaller and smaller. The absolute best way to think about this is like a volume knob. Going from 0 to 2 is life-changing, right? It's the difference between total silence and actually hearing the music. But going from an 8 to a 10, honestly, you can barely even tell the difference. Your first 75 grand in savings is that huge leap from silence to a comfortable listening level. Everything after that is just a tiny little tweak. So why does this happen? It's because your brain doesn't really see money as a number. It sees it as distance from a threat. When you have nothing saved, you are constantly in the threat zone. One bad car repair can send you into a crisis. But as you build that buffer, you move into a vigilance zone, then into a safety zone. And once you hit that $75,000 mark, that buffer is big enough to handle most of life's curveballs, and your brain's financial anxiety module literally just powers off. And listen, this isn't just a metaphor. This is actual neuroscience. Brain scans show that when savings are low, the amygdala, that's your brain's fear center, is firing off constantly. It makes it almost impossible to think long term. But once you build that buffer, the amygdala calms down and the rational planning part of your brain gets back in the driver's seat. You don't just feel calmer. Your brain is literally operating in a different, better mode. Okay, so this brings us to a really, really critical distinction. This is the thing that trips up so many of us. We have to understand the difference between peace of mind and financial freedom. They are not the same thing. They're not even the same goal. Peace of mind, that's what we've been talking about. It's simply the absence of that constant financial worry. It's when your brain's threat detection system finally gets to stand down and take a breath. Now, financial freedom, that's something else entirely. That's the presence of options. It's the ability to quit your job or to travel for a year or to finally start that passion project without having to worry about a paycheck. It is a wonderful goal, but it requires a very, very different number. And this is where we get trapped. We use freedom's target, $500,000, $1 million, to solve peace's problem. We think we need a fortune just to stop worrying. That's like using a sledgehammer to hang a picture frame. The tool is just completely wrong for the job, and it just leads to paralysis. And here's the bottom line. When a target feels impossibly far away, we get demoralized. We think, oh, I'm never going to get there, so why should I even bother trying? Chasing a freedom level number just to find peace is an absolute recipe for giving up before we've even started. But when you aim for the right target first, everything changes. You unlock this massive strategic advantage. You get to build the rest of your wealth not from a place of fear and desperation, but from a solid foundation of calm. So what does this actually look like? Well, if you invest, say, $500 a month at an average 8% return, you can hit that $75,000 peace number in about 8 years. 8 years to get to genuine peace of mind. That $500,000 freedom target, that's going to take 24 years. That's a 16-year gap. 16 years of unnecessary anxiety, of that 2 a.m. worry loop, all because you were aiming at the wrong target. By focusing on peace first, you give yourself the incredible gift of a decade and a half of calm. And here's the most powerful part of all of this. Achieving peace isn't the finish line. It is the accelerator. Peaceful people make better decisions. They're more patient, they take smarter risks, and because of that, they actually build wealth faster than anxious people do. This state of calm gives you what I like to call composed confidence. It's that quiet strength that lets you negotiate for a better salary because you're not terrified of what happens if they say no. You can set boundaries at work. You can make patient investment decisions when the market is crashing, all because you are operating from a place of security, not desperation. And there's actual data to back this up. Research from the University of Warwick found like happy workers, and trust me, financial peace is a huge driver of happiness, are about 12% more productive. And that productivity boost, that leads to raises and opportunities that just compound your wealth even faster. Your peace pays dividends. Now, one final warning here. Once you hit that $75,000 mark and you feel that peace settle in, you have to resist the urge to immediately create a new thing to worry about. Don't replace your financial anxiety with accumulation anxiety, the new worry that you're not growing your money fast enough. That's just the same anxiety wearing a different costume. So let's bring it all home. Stop chasing a goalpost that keeps moving further and further away. Aim for the number that actually stops the worry. That number is achievable, it is real, and it's probably so much closer than you've ever imagined. Because the peace you earn isn't just an end goal. It's not the destination. It has a purpose. It is the foundation from which you can build everything else in your life with clarity and with confidence. So the real question is, once you finally have it, what are you going to do with it?